Okay, so we've reached that time of summer when everything is big and abundant and super around, and I wanted to take a moment to just talk about some weeds because I use weeds all the time. Weeds are actually super beneficial and a huge part of herbalism, and we don't talk about them enough. So I picked a random spot in my yard, and I sat down, and I'm gonna just pull out weeds and talk about them because why not? The big one that I see right here all over is plantain. Let me get a good leaf. Plantain is one of my favorites. It's in my drawing salve. It's in my gardener's hand salve. It's in so many things because it's so good. If you have bug bites, bee stings, or minor like burns or something, like I got one right here, you can take a bit of this leaf, chew it up, and make it into a poultice. And then once you chew it, it's a little fibrous, so it takes a second. You just stick it on, and it will start to do the healing. It is just awesome. I'm not gonna leave that on there. But yeah, it does so many things, and most people don't even know about that, about all of the wonderful things it can do. And it's probably sitting right in your yard. You're trying to get rid of it so you can have beautiful grass. And this is one of the reasons I'm against having beautiful grass, because this amazing healing power is right here. It's also nutritive, so you can eat it. You can throw it in salads and stuff. Like I said, it's a little fibrous. I don't prefer it that way. I like it as a nourishing herbal infusion instead, but you can always do that. Another thing we have right here is Creeping Charlie. I actually don't talk much about Creeping Charlie. I don't use it often, mostly because I'm always trying to get it out of my garden because it will kill off other weeds. It's a vine, it takes over, and it will choke out all of your plants. So it's the bane of my existence, so I don't use it very often. But it is a nutritive. You can use it in salads. It's got a lot of topical benefits that it does, but I really hate it. So let's go on. What else do we have? Clover. So right here I have some white clover, and you can tell what clover is. We all know the 3 leaves, right? And these are like oval shaped leaves, and I want to point that out because I know that there is some sorrel around here. People often get sorrel and clover confused because they look really similar, but they're in fact very, very different. Hold one. So this is sorrel. That's grass. This is sorrel. You can see, I'm going to pull off one of these. You can see the difference in the shape of the leaves. See how those are hearts? And then the clover is oval. You see that? So that's how you can tell the difference. Sorrel also tends to be a lighter green versus a darker, deeper green that you get with clover. Sorrel is also edible. It has its own list of medicinal properties that you can use it for. I like clover for its nutritive properties. Again, you can have it in salads. You can make iced tea with the flowers, and there's a couple different kinds. So there's the red clover and white clover. They have slightly different characteristics, but they're both really good for a lot of different things. Red clover makes a really good nutritive blend for those nourishing herbal infusions also, so that's another thing you can use it for. Oh yeah, sorrel also has yellow flowers, so that's the major way you can tell. And the flowers are totally different shaped than clover, so that's a major way you can tell the difference between those two. Moving on. Dandelion. It's kind of past dandelion season, so most of the flowers are toast, but dandelion does a lot of wonderful things. The leaves are edible. They're a little bitter. They're really good for the liver and all cleaning out things. You can eat the entire plants. You can use the stems as straws. I like to fry up the flowers, or you can dry the flowers and put them in tea just to add some color. They don't have a ton of flavor. My family always makes dandelion wine, which you use the flower heads for, and that is something I really, really enjoy. The roots are so good for liver. I use them in a bunch of my teas. I have them regularly. The roots are just amazing. So dandelion is another one. Then we have selfheal. You can always notice it by its purple flowers. Again, this whole plant is edible. Everything, part of it is medicinal. Different things, different parts do different things. It is great for staunching bleeding, drying out bacteria. So if you get a cut in the woods and it looks like it's getting infected, put this on it. You can, again, eat it. It's good for reducing fevers. Internally, it's good for ulcers and digestive issues. It's in the mint family, so anything that mint does, it's going to be really similar. What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, violet. We're a little past violet season, but violets, they usually have the violet flowers that you're all familiar with, are awesome. I like to use the flowers, and the leaves are really good for respiratory issues, coughs, colds, allergies, and those kinds of things that pop up in the early spring when it is blooming. But you can use the roots for different things, and again, nutritive. So you could really come out here, you grab some dandelion, grab some violet, dice up a little plantain leaf, maybe add in a little clover, and there, you've got a salad. There's dinner. There's just so much that's so available that we're all ignoring most of the time. So I totally suggest go out, take a little walk around, see what you can identify right in your own yard, in your own grass, and see how you can use it.